If your stock OEM stereo system needs more volume and bass, then this, my friend, is a video for you. Many new vehicles already come with head units that have great features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, backup camera, and more. But the sound can be subpar. So if you fall into this category, we're going to show you what you can do to get great quality components to complement what you already have to create an amazing sound experience in your vehicle. Stay with us. What's up? I'm Josh from Breakers Stereo and Performance. Welcome to the channel that reviews all the best aftermarket vehicle upgrades like car audio, suspension, performance, and more. Because we don't drop stock. And if you're like us, where stock just doesn't cut it, then join the Upgrade Nation by subscribing to this channel. This video is especially for you guys that have non-premium factory stereo systems. So if your vehicle didn't come with a Bose, Harman Kardon, JBL, B&O, Meridian, etc., then this video is tailored for you and your vehicle. Now, how do you know if your stereo has one of these premium systems? You'll normally see a badge on the front speakers or the tweeters or somewhere on the radio. And if it doesn't have that, more than likely you do not have a premium system. Now, stock head units can be complex and most already have good features, but the speakers sound okay. And it could use more volume and a lot more bass. So we put together an Audison package that works great with the factory radio and the factory speakers. Now, changing the speakers is highly recommended, but if you're not quite ready to change those speakers out yet, this is a great option until you're ready to do that. And it consists of a 5-channel amplifier and a single subwoofer box. So our 5-channel amp is going to give you the power you need to power your front and rear speakers, along with enough power to drive the subwoofer properly. And we'll go over the specs here in a minute, but in most cases, this system package we put together is pretty universal and allows you to go directly into your factory radio with little intrusion. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So as an overview, in this video, we'll take a look at the system I'm referring to and go over the specs of each component. And then we'll also go over what it will take to install a system like this into your vehicle. So without further ado, let's start with the components of this package we put together especially for you. Now, the amplifier is a 5-channel Audison SR5.600 that is 75 watts times 4 into 4 ohms RMS. And if your speakers so happen to be 2 ohms, this amp will give you even more power at 115 watts times 4. Yes, this is more power than your stock speakers can handle, so when tuning with a DD1 or oscilloscope, make sure you're using a 1000 Hz 0 dB track if you're installing it yourself. But if you're not going to use this device to tune, then take it easy on the gain and look out for distortion. But for a job like this, where you have to tie into the factory radio, it's highly recommended that you get it professionally installed, but make sure to ask them to tune it with either of the mentioned devices. Now, on the 5th channel, it's rated at 330 watts at 4 ohms and 550 watts at 2 ohms. And the woofer box we're matching it up with has a final impedance of 2 ohms. So you're gonna get the full 550 watts out of it. Not to jump too far ahead, but the subwoofer we are looking at handles 400 watts RMS and 800 watts peak. So we're right where we need to be. A little power is always better. And if you're tuning with a DD1 or oscilloscope, I'd personally use the 40 Hz negative 3 dB track. The front channels have a variable high pass crossover from 50 Hz all the way up to 5000 Hz at a 12 dB per octave slope. The rear has the same high pass filter with the same crossover points along with an optional bandpass filter. So you could use the 4 channels for a 2-way setup, meaning the tweeters on channels 1 and 2 and the mids on channels 3 and 4, all using the internal crossovers in the amp. Now, if you decide to run it in this situation, your rear speakers will have to run off the power of the radio. We recommend using channels 1 and 2 for the front stage and channels 3 and 4 for the rear, giving you more control over those rear speakers. But you can certainly run a 2-way setup if you like. And the 5th channel crossover points are between 50 Hz and 500 Hz at a 24 dB per octave slope. Also, there is a selectable subsonic filter at 25 Hz at 24 dB per octave. Also, there's an adjustable bass boost at 50 Hz from 0 to plus 12 dB. So this amp is nice. It only has a 8-gauge input for your positive and negative. So you don't need to use a thick 4-gauge wire, making it a lot easier for installation. Also, you have these nice round edges, so a really good clean looking amplifier. The crossover settings and the gain settings are on the top of the amplifier. So you have to unscrew it and then pop this open, and then from here, this is going to give you all your controls. And then when you're done, you can put the panel back on and then screw it down to secure it. So this does have a remote bass knob that you can add to this amplifier, but we will include it in this package. And just so you know, the model number is VCR S1. So this amp has 6-channel low-level and high-level inputs. So when running your factory stereo, as we're describing here, you're going to be tying into the speaker outputs of the OEM radio into the amplifier with these plugs. So most, if not all, OEM radios do not have RCA outputs. The only factory radio that I personally ran into that had RCA outputs was on a Scion, and I believe it was a Pioneer branded radio that they made for Toyota Scion. But in my long career, that's the only one I personally ran into. So unless you have a early 2000s Scion, this is how you're going to be able to tie into your factory stereo. Now, of course, you have front and rear high-level input, but this also gives you a sub input as well. This gives you the ability to tie into the factory subwoofer output if you have one present in your factory system. The speaker inputs are equipped with ART, which stands for Automatic Remote Turn On Off. Now this syncs the amp's turn on off according to the operational status of the head unit. So this eliminates the need for a remote turn on signal, which generally is not present in an OEM stereo. The ART circuit ensures that amp turns on and off with no delays, eliminating annoying turn on or off pops. The THD is very low at 0.02% when playing a 1K test tone at 70% of the amp's rated power. So this is very clean for a D-class amplifier. And for the front and rear channels, the dampening factor is 100 at 1K into 4 ohms. And for the sub, it's 300 at 100 hertz into 4 ohms. The dampening factor measures the ability for the amplifier to control the speakers. But these numbers, the THD and the dampening, are at levels that are much better than what is audible, which means even if those numbers were better, you would not be able to tell the difference audibly. Now, as far as the frequency bands for channels 1 through 4, they are 10 hertz all the way up to 35,000 hertz. And for the sub, it's 10 hertz up to 500 hertz. This amplifier provides lots of clean power in a compact size, and it reflects excellent electrical design with great flexibility to adapt in many car audio setups. And this amp is Audison's #1 selling amp for a reason. Okay, so now that you know about the amplifier, let's talk about the compact subwoofer box. This is the APBX10S, which is a passive sub box that has the Audison APS10D, 10-inch or 250 millimeter subwoofer. And as mentioned previously, handles 400 watts RMS and 800 watts peak. Now this shallow woofer is designed specifically to work in very small sealed enclosures and still provides very deep but accurate bass, and has an excursion of 0.70 inches or 18 millimeters. And the 2S2 design, which stands for 2 sides, 2 sound, provides the ability to select between a down firing position to increase the low frequency extension or an up firing position to obtain more bass definition. So in the down fire position, you get a few legs to lift the box off the floor, and the overall specs are 18.5 by 13.15 by 4.72 and 472 by 334 by 120 millimeters. So what's great about this system is you're going to maximize your original speakers. But of course, when you're ready to upgrade those speakers, this amplifier can definitely handle a good set of components and coaxials. Also, the amp is small but provides lots of clean power, and the box is nice and compact and is more than enough for those that are looking for a fair amount of bass without taking lots of room. We're talking quality components here at a reasonable price. Again, those looking for a great upgrade from the factory without going overboard, this is a great system for you. Again, ideal for newer vehicles without premium OEM stereo systems and where switching out the stereo is not a viable option. So if your stock radio just doesn't cut it and you need more volume and more bass, then consider this package. To learn more about it or to purchase it, there are links in the description below taking you directly to the product page. Now remember, we do have financing available. Simply add to cart, pick a financing option, get approved, and we'll send your gear out to you ASAP. Okay, that's gonna do it. Hope you found this video informative. If so, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Okay, again, my name is Josh. I'm from Breaker Stereo and Performance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.